Once you're ready to start writing your social sciences essay or any essay in APA formatting, you need to use the proper document formatting for it. We've talked about in-text citations and references, but now we have to talk about how to develop the entire document itself. So when it comes to the social sciences essay, if you go into the course content and click on the social sciences folder, if you scroll down a little bit, there is an example of a problem solution essay. So if I click on this and then click on the next link right there, here is the document. So here's a finished social sciences essay, a problem solution essay about the transition from military to civilian life. And I'm just going to kind of scroll through it a little bit, and you'll notice right away it looks very different from the humanities essay and the formatting of that. It's got this cover page to start. It's got this information here at the top. If I scroll down, there's a second page which is called the abstract. Now, in the instructions for our social sciences essay, it says you don't have to write the abstract. But for your information, an abstract is kind of an overview of your essay. It's different from an introduction because an intro is meant to be brief and it's meant to be engaging. It's meant to make the reader want to read your essay, and it's concluded with the thesis statement at the end of the intro. The abstract is really more of kind of a factual breakdown of your essay, highlighting the major points, if you will. It's more specific than an introduction. But there's a sample abstract. This one actually, in my opinion, is a little bit long for an abstract, but it is a sample abstract. Once again, for our social sciences essay, you don't have to write one, but you might need to write them on future essays, so keep that in mind. And then we have the document itself. Now, I do also want to point out that in our essay, we're actually omitting another part of the APA formatting other than the abstract, which are the level headings. In this essay, you just have the paragraphs all indented, so you've got your intro indented, and each body paragraph is just indented to indicate where the body paragraphs are. You'll see shortly when I show you the template that a real like a full APA document is a lot more complicated looking than this one. It has level headings, which this sample one does not, and you don't have to use level headings for our essay. But keep in mind that there are other things that go into the APA formatting. The course doesn't require you to do level headings. I have had students take other classes before that did require level headings, so I am going to talk about them a little bit. And as always, it's a good idea for you to have your essay checked by a tutor, and that way, especially if it's an APA essay, because there are so many rules and so many guidelines, you really want to have someone check it for you to make sure that you've done everything right. But moving on, we've got the document, and then at the very end, on the last page by itself, you've got the references page. Just like with the MLA formatting, it's double-spaced, hanging indents, so it starts on the left, and then if it goes additional lines, it's indented, and it is in alphabetical order based on whatever the first word is, whether it's a name or a title. So here's a sample problem solution APA document for you to look over. And now I'll show you how to get yours to look like this. First, you want to get out Microsoft Word. You have to get Microsoft Word for this particular one, or something that has all of Word's capabilities, because APA formatting and structure requires certain things only a word processor can do. With the previous essay, with the humanities essay, I told you there was a template for your MLA, and there's one for APA too. Use the APA template. I cannot stress it enough, because it's really kind of tricky to get the APA document the way you want it if you're just opening a blank document and doing it by yourself. So I use the template because I don't even want to mess with all the things that have to go into fixing it from a blank document. I use a template too. So I just type APA in the search box, and it's going to find me my template. There it is. They're both the same. If it has multiple ones, APA is in its sixth edition and has been for a very long time. Okay. And then we've got our title page is the first thing that's on the template. If we scroll down, there's the abstract, and then here's a document. And there's those level headings I was talking about. Basically, what a level heading will do is it will kind of give a title to every section of your paper, and you can have multiple level headings. Level heading 1 is always kind of the big idea. Level heading 2 will be a kind of a subsection of that big idea, and level heading 3 a subsection of that. A 4 is a subsection of 3. You could basically just categorize all the information of your paper out. Some people really like doing level headings when they write their essays because labeling everything kind of makes them, I don't know, it's good for the structure. They feel like, everything is kind of in its place, if you will. But just as an example, if I were going to do a huge report, and usually you don't need to go into depth with level headings unless you have many, many pages for an essay. But let's say I was doing my essay on bullying, and I wanted to talk about the bullying problem, right? So if I wanted to, that could be a level heading 1 because it's kind of a big idea. So maybe I talk about the bullying problem, but then I want to get really specific and talk about the bullying problem in high schools, right? Versus middle schools, if you will. So that's kind of basically what level headings do. It just kind of subsections everything out. So the problem in high schools, the problem in middle schools, that's what level headings are supposed to achieve. Once again, you don't have to create level headings for your essay, for this essay, but future essays, you very well may have to. So I just wanted to give you a little example of it. And when it comes to the level headings 1 and 2, typically level 1 and level 2 are really all you're going to need. I went through a master's degree in communication, and I think I maybe used a level 3 once ever. Usually, if you're going level 3, level 4 headings, you have got a huge paper on your hands at that point. 20 plus pages easily. So level 1, level 2 usually will get you the content, the coverage of the content that you need. So that's just for future reference because I've seen students have to use those in other classes here at SPC and other places as well. As we scroll down, you see the references page is here at the end. The template also includes things like the footnotes, tables, etc. In MLA, when you're talking about these things, you always put it in the paragraph where it's referenced. Like in that humanities essay, you put the artwork in the paragraph where you described it. In APA essays, you don't do that. All that stuff goes at the very end of the essay and is considered a footnote, something to refer to later, at the end if the reader wants to. You don't need any of these things for this particular essay though. So we're going to take this template and we're going to start deleting a lot of the stuff on here that we don't actually need. Okay? For instance, like I said, the abstract, which would be an overview of your essay, is not required for this paper. So we'll just delete this. There we go. And then we also don't need the level headings. What we can do is if we just highlight everything, don't delete the title, okay? But if we highlight everything underneath the title and delete it, we'll get our nice blank document, and I can start typing my essay here. And while I type it up here, it won't change the references down here at the end. Now this has Word's documentation tool thing going on. Usually I don't like to do it because whereas you have to input all the information into Word and it's like little boxes and stuff, so it generates your citations for you. If you know how to do that, that's great, more power to you. But for me, I find it just messes everything up. So I just like to type my own references. If you want to, you can just delete everything in here so that you can just sort of, type your own references or copy paste your references from your database sources, which is probably a little bit easier than kind of messing around with Word's toolbox here. I don't know, maybe I just do it the old-fashioned way because that's the way I always did it. Go with the method that works best for you, but If I type it myself, I know it's right. Now, I got a nice clean document, but I do need to start filling in some information. The title. You want to give your essay a title, whatever it might be. It should capture the whole idea of what it is you're writing about. Okay, this is kind of a simple title, but it gets the job done. When it comes to this part, author's name, that would be your name. Institutional affiliation, that would be the school you are going to. Okay, so that's how you fix the first three things. Don't move this around. Keep it exactly where it is with the height on the document. Okay, author's note, you don't need that. That can go away. And the running head. Now, APA is a little bit different in some cases because it has this thing called the running head on it. And it says it's a shortened title up to 50 characters. What that means is you're supposed to look at the title of your essay, and then you're supposed to take out just 1 or 2, maybe 3 max keywords, and then place it up here. It should be short. Do not put the entire title that you have here up here. Now, mine is the bullying problem and its solutions. So what is this essay really about? Well, it's about bullying. That's what it's about. So that's perfectly fine for the running head. Once again, this should be very short. So you'll notice that up here in the header where it says running head, and I've got my page number here already. If I scroll down, on the second page, the words running head disappear and it just says bullying, which is my running header. And so this is kind of why you want to use a template, because this takes some formatting through Word to get it to do exactly what you're looking at right here. It's a kind of a step process to get to do that. The template's nice because it allows you to just kind of put it in there and keep on going. So once you've got that going on, then you can start typing your essay. So with this one, just like in that sample one, you're going to just type out the paragraphs like you normally would for any essay. You don't have to do the level headings. But know how to do them for the future in case you do need them for other essays. But you'll just type out your standard paragraphs, indent all paragraphs. Your introduction is going to come first. The second paragraph, once again, will be your problem paragraph. It's where you tell me all about the problem, give me the data on the problem, prove to me the problem is real. Okay, pretend I am the ultimate skeptic. I am not going to believe you if you call it a problem unless you can prove it. Your opinion is not proof. That's an opinion. I got to get facts. So that's where you definitely need to incorporate your research to show me how the problem is real. To what extent does it exist? That's paragraph 2. Then paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and if you have a third solution, you don't have to have one, but if you do, paragraph 5, those paragraphs are going to be each a different solution. And once again, you got to give me data, you got to give me an expert, you have to show me the research that shows that the solution could potentially work. Your opinion is great and all, but it's just an opinion. I need you to back that opinion up with research in order for it to be valid. So every body paragraph should utilize a source. They don't have to be different sources. You might have one source that talks about multiple solutions to bullying. Then that's great. You've got one source to cover multiple areas of your paper. You'll just document it in each paragraph when you use it. So you've got your intro, your problem paragraph, your solutions, 2 or 3, which will be separate paragraphs for each, all with research, and then the conclusion paragraph will be at the end. After you've typed that up, and of course including your in-text documentation, you'll have your references page here at the end where you'll have your database references. Remember, only the database can be used for this paper. The only website you're allowed to use is the Pew Research Center, okay, which we've talked about before, and it's on the instructions for the paper. All right, so what you want to do is utilize this template because it's really going to solve a lot of problems when it comes to properly formatting this document. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to reading your essays. Thank you.